Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, their little tit for tat is starting to develop into something a little bit more. It's really bubbling up now, and the latest is Dillian Whyte has fired back at Tyson Fury, really trying to get one up on him. And this was after Tyson Fury really roasted him well and truly, and I think it was pretty widely acknowledged, some of the comments that he made in response to Dillian Whyte calling Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder cowards. So he really went in on him. I covered this in my heavyweight news and brief, basically posing a number of questions. Why didn't you fight Ortiz? You could have had the fight. You struggled with Chisora. You lost to almost lost to Joseph Parker in the 12th round. You ran away from Dave Allen, and that he got sparked by Anthony Joshua, and that he's just a dosser and a working man for Eddie Hearn, and that he says that he needs to respect the Gypsy King, remember who he's talking to, and that he could only dream of doing what Tyson Fury has done. So I think that was pretty widely acknowledged as Tyson Fury got a few good licks in there. And that was obviously from Dillian Whyte's original tweet. Where is it here? Sorry, original Instagram post. Embarrassing bunch of cowards. Bronze Bomber, Gypsy King, let's go chumps, #clowns. So what's happened now is Dillian Whyte, he's come back over the top, wasn't going to let Tyson Fury have the last word. And he's really sort of fired up in some sparring rumours, which he basically said previously he wouldn't get into. He's got into, and he said he's dropped Tyson Fury several times in sparring. So his tweet, and it's also on Instagram as well, unlike you, I'll fight anyone. At Tyson Fury, you refused to fight me as I knocked you down so many times in sparring. And if you pull out in November with yet another fake injury, I'm more than happy to take your place and smash up that coward at Bronze Bomber. So Dillian Whyte, he's sort of letting the cat out of the bag on some of those sparring rumours that he'd already alluded to. And, you know, I'm expecting Tyson Fury to come back over the top, and maybe this time he'll actually do it with a video, because he does like to sort of sit in his car after a training or something similar and really sort of wind into someone with a few good comments. But the genesis of this whole sort of, beef, or, I mean, they've had comments for some time, but in this particular case, earlier in the month, Whyte had alluded to the sparring issues. He said that he would fight Tyson Fury tomorrow. He said he'd previously faced him in sparring. He'd sort of taken confidence from that. And he said, Fury knows what happened the last time we shared the ring. I'm not going to talk about sparring stories, but he knows. So that was where he left it on August the 2nd. But clearly, Fury's sort of comment has really sort of enraged him to the point where he's like, actually, I'm going to just put this out there that I dropped you. And after those initial sort of comments on August the 2nd came out, Tyson Fury didn't actually sort of dispute this. But what we did see, and this was a week or so ago, was it 5 days ago by the look of this. So Hosea Burton, when he was speaking to Behind the Gloves, so as reported by Michael Benson on Twitter, I've actually seen Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte spar. It wasn't much of a spar at all. Tyson handled him with ease. So that left, when I saw that, many others did as well. It did sort of leave a bit of doubt in my mind about, well, what exactly has really gone on here? But there's some open questions about this, because we all love a good sparring rumour. Who's sort of sparred who, what happened, who got the better of who. And sometimes it's, it can be a little easy to read into these things too much, and sometimes you just have to step back and go, well, this is sparring. They're trying things, they're working on different bits and pieces, trying to simulate certain things. It's not always just as easy as sort of saying, well, this guy put this guy down, he's obviously better than him. But after those Hosea Burton comments, I was wondering, well, how long have these guys sort of, since they sparred, but also how many times did they spar? I mean, maybe Hosea Burton was only present for one, and perhaps Tyson Fury did school him on that occasion. But Dillian Whyte, he is clearly saying that he's put in some work against Fury and knocked him down many times. So I'd be interested to know a little bit more about this, and I guess if Dillian Whyte is pushed, he may actually come forth with a bit more detail. We do love a good sparring story, but in the context of the division and where things are right now, I mean, this is a good little sort of beef, and there's a little bit of heat in it, but is this really going anywhere? Potentially not. I mean, all it's doing is sort of bubble along some bad blood, and it's unlikely that Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte will be fighting soon. Some of the comments from Tyson Fury. There's been a lot of people leaping in on this, he should have fought Ortiz, and that would have been a good fight. It would have been a good fight. But in terms of, would that have led to Dillian Whyte facing Deontay Wilder next? Well, no, it's unlikely, because that was for the second mandatory. So it's easy to say that he could have been facing Wilder, but in reality it probably would have been a year away at best. But I would have liked to have seen that Ortiz fight. I would have liked to have seen the Pulev fight. Whyte was to be in either of those eliminators, but ultimately chose to face Joseph Parker, which was another good fight. And obviously, high octane, there was a lot of drama in that fight, and it was a good fight for the division. Two guys in their prime. But in terms of, will Dillian Whyte actually ever face Luis Ortiz? Because this question comes up all the time. I think it's unlikely, just because what is there for him now? And a lot of people will be piling in, sort of saying, well, Luis Ortiz, he's there, he's older, he's beatable. Why doesn't Dillian Whyte just face him? You know, Ortiz now seems to be some sort of WBC gatekeeper to Deontay Wilder. If he wants Wilder, go through Ortiz. There is something to be said for that argument, but at the same time, it could be another year or so away until you'd get that shot at Wilder if you get through Ortiz. And Ortiz, very good fighter, no guarantees. But the flip side of the coin is, who's to say that Dillian Whyte will get a title shot anywhere else any quicker? Potentially in the WBO, where he's rated, I think it's second at the moment. Potentially he could be in line for a final eliminator with Jarrell Miller, and that potentially could be for some time in the next sort of 3 to 6 months. But who knows? Will that fight actually get set? Because Miller, he's now fighting on DAZN for Eddie Hearn. Obviously, Dillian Whyte is with Eddie Hearn. These two guys, you know, they've been building them up. Are they going to pit them against each other at this point in their career? And Jarrell Miller, we know he's looking to fight sort of safe-ish level fights at this point until he gets a title shot. I mean, if he gets paid really well for a Dillian Whyte fight, he's getting a 7-figure check. He may just put that O on the line. So it would be interesting to see if they would make that final eliminator. But in terms of this whole sort of evolving beef between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, is it going anywhere? I'm not so sure. But it was fascinating that he did decide to, well, actually, I am going to reveal this now. I'm going to let everyone know what happened. Because I think there would have been a number of people that would have just thought, well, Tyson Fury, he's a far better boxer than Dillian Whyte. He's got the height, the reach, he's got the skill advantage, and probably someone like Dillian Whyte wouldn't be able to sort of lay a glove on him. A lot of people don't really rate Whyte as a boxer. He's more of a brawler, but I do think his technique is getting better. But I mean, who knows when these sparring sessions were? Who knows how many times they had them and what state Fury was in? I mean, if this was a Fury, say, from 2015, you'd have to go, well, actually, if Whyte was able to put him down then, that's pretty good work. But if it's more recently, if Tyson Fury was in relatively poor condition, then I could see that Whyte should be able to catch up with Fury a bit more easier than prime Fury of 2015. But yeah, it's an interesting case, and it's certainly, I think it's going to bubble on. I'm just waiting for the next video, the next post, because it's something every day at the moment. And there's one other thing that I just wanted to quickly touch on in terms of some of the language that's being used. Because potentially, are we looking at some of this slightly the wrong way? Because remember, Dillian Whyte loves to call people cowards. If we take us back to the Behind the Gloves episode with Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker, he called Parker to his face a coward multiple times. He was trying to get under his skin. But then when he was pressed by Johnny Nelson and by Joseph Parker on the coward comments, he actually said, while he can call someone a coward, he respects cowards as well. So, I mean, perversely, could we look at this as a bit of a term of endearment? Probably not, but I mean, I just thought I would throw that in there because Dillian Whyte, he does say, you know, some things that, you know, certainly do raise the eyebrows, but then again, Tyson Fury is no stranger to that as well. What do you make of this whole situation? Do you think that Dillian Whyte has gone too far by sort of letting the cat out of the bag on this sort of sparring stuff, or is that actually fair game now, given that Tyson Fury has so thoroughly come back over the top to try put Dillian Whyte in his place? I guess if you're leading off as Dillian Whyte did, calling, them a bunch of cowards and let's go chumps, #clowns, embarrassing bunch of cowards, well, you're right for the picking in terms of a comeback. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.